lakes and rivers.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Here it's another Saturday at the Indoor Promised Land. I'm glad all of you guys could join me out there, all you lads and ladies. Thanks for being with me here on another Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope we're all having a good morning. I hope all you guys out there who've already started your day out here in the East Coast are having a good afternoon. Just want to say hi to all the people that we see filtering in here at chat. We really appreciate you guys who join us in the chat community. First off, just wanted to say hi to Jay Smoke. What's going on, Jay? How's it going, man? Want to say hi to Sindor. Good to see you. And Smot Poker. Good to see you too, man. Crispy, you came along as well. It's good to see you guys. Nancy, yeah, that was Talking Heads. I'm glad you guys could hear that because I didn't have any sound in my ears. I was a little confused there. I guess that's just how it goes with the technical issues here at the Indoor Promised Land. You guys know me. You know me. You know how I am. So let's just pop right into it this morning. Figure this stuff out, figure that stuff out, and boom! Hey, what's going on? It's New York John. How are we doing today? Hope we're all doing pretty well. I'm just having a kind of a hard start this morning, trying to get with the swing of things, and yeah, couple trials, couple tribulations, no big deal. Gonna get it all underway here in a minute. Hey, we got Dr. MJ Coco there in the chat. Good to see you, Doc. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations. I see you're launching a new show over there at your YouTube. I think it's, what is it, Ask Dr. MJ, or sounds like he's going to be fielding some questions from people who are interested in learning how to grow, people who are interested in learning how to use the equipment. It's good to see people giving back. I mean, you already provide a lot of information to the community, so I'm really glad to see you're launching a live program to interact with us. So really great to see that. You guys need to follow along with that if you are at all interested with the MJ Coco or the Coco for Cannabis scene. Why don't you pop on over there and sub up and say hi? Tell them New York John sent you. Hey, Boston Buds, what's good? We got Beans in the house. Good to see some beans in the house, man. Awesome. Silverback, what's going on, dude? Good to see you, Gigi. Thanks for joining along with us. We got Stewie, our brother from another mother across the pond. What's up, bruv? Yeah, what else we got here? Nancy, yeah, we already said hi. Good to see you, Nancy. Thanks for always coming along. Grodo, Eric K. Good to see you guys. Well, I'm just kind of getting myself rolling here, right? So you'll forgive me as I let's see. Today's program is going to be brought to you by LaCroix. This is a new flavor. I don't know if it's new to you guys, but it's new to me. Limoncello. Limoncello sparkling water. Now, I was surprised. I like lemon. I love lemon flavor, especially when it comes to our cannabis. I love all the lemony terps and stuff. The flavors that we get. Had a good one a little while back. Lemon drip from Exotics. I'll probably never stop talking about that. Very lemony, not citrus, specifically lemon. A really nice flavor. But I don't like lemonade. I don't like sweet lemon. I like sour. I like bitter lemon. And I was super surprised because this is not like lemon flavor. It's limoncello. And hey guys, I've enjoyed some limoncello before. My dad and my stepmom, they make a killer limoncello. Whenever we go over, they've always got a bottle out of the freezer to send over. It's got a lot of sugar in it. It's very sweet. It's something you only have a little bit of. It's also very high test. I think it's like 80% alcohol. He puts in pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of like lemon zest and lemon juice to make that flavor. But again, very sweet. This is like not your daddy's lemon, thing. That what were we drinking last week? Starry. Starry is like one of those Squirt or Sprite or 7-Up kind of flavor. But again, sweet, this stuff, not at all sweet. It's actually got kind of like a dry lemon flavor to it. So if you guys enjoy sparkling water, try to check out LaCroix. I'm not sure. You guys, I'm not good with the French, but that I'm pretty sure that X is silent. Anyway, that's what we're enjoying today. Also along, we've got a little bit of weed. Gonna roll up a J. Have my weekly J. Really don't smoke J's a whole lot, but gonna have another one this week. And I got a few things to show you today. Something I'm actually pretty excited about. I'll just give you a little teaser. Is I'm making a new segment for this show. I'd like to put it in like every 2 weeks. So I'm relying on interviews with, proven growers, people out there who we know, who we admire, who've got good gardens. And I'm asking them to tell me all about their first time. All right. All about my first time. So we drop all the salacious little secrets, all the indignities, all of the humiliating things, especially we're talking to people about looking back to their first grow when they really started getting into it and what the difference is between now and then. Of course, not just some skill, probably a lot of technique. A lot of people are concerned about this or going down this rabbit hole. So I think it's an interesting topic, and I hope you guys are interested to listen along with us. We have one of those segments today, a segment with a grower in the community you guys all probably know, many of you guys love. We got our friend Chad Westport to speak with me this last week and to tell me about his first time, right? So we already have an interview lined up for our next recording. Some of you guys might know him as Grower Joe. You might know him as Basement Grows. He's one of those basement growers. He's got a show. He's been out there for a couple of years, probably the better part of 5 or 6, 7 years. Talking about his grow, showing off some sponsored products and staying in tune with the community. 133,000 subs on that guy's YouTube. So, next level guy. But I'm interested to talk to him about his first grow. And I believe he's still got some weed from his first grow. But lots to talk about with that. And if any of you want to reach out to me and lay down a track and talk about your first time growing, I'd be very happy to make time for you, and we could bring that then to the people here at the chat, the people here watching live, the people here watching later on, the future people, and I hope that everybody does enjoy that sort of thing. In fact, I'm going to be rolling this J for a minute, and I got a couple little organizing things here to do. If you give me one moment. Hey, South Beemore, good to see you. VPD, good to see you. Butters and Bud. All right, Chronic, filtering in. Good to see you earlier. Chronic was pressing some rosin over there with his rosin press over there at the lab. Watched him for a little bit. Hope you guys joined along with me there. If you haven't already, check out Chronic Grows. Fantastic material coming out. He's making some great videos, doing the things that we do as indoor growers, doing the things that we do as cannabis consumers, and showing it all out there. Humble Canadian, good to see you also. Roger, Wild, Dawson. Wow, everyone's just kind of showing up. We got 40 people out there. I hope we have 40 likes. If you haven't had a chance yet, go over to that like button and tap it gently. You don't got to smash it. Don't break your computer just to show some support to show some growers love over here, Indoor Promised Land. But go ahead and gently tap that. And if you haven't, if you're watching, maybe this is your first time. You like what I'm laying down. You like the sort of things that we're talking about. You like my handsome face. Maybe go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you could find out when we're going live, which is ostensibly Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So mark your calendar, or even better, hit that notification bell. You'll have YouTube sending you all sorts of information about how to watch us. So without much further ado, please allow me to take 1 second and to sloppily get into this interview that we had with Chad Westport, which I'm super proud to show you. All right. And I think it went pretty well. So present, share screen. That's easy enough, right? Share screen. StreamYard. Which one? Chrome tab. There it is. And now I go back here. Open that up. Bam. There's me. There's the thing. Let's get into it, all right? Well, hey guys, this is a new segment that I like to call My First Time. We kind of share our dirty secrets about our first time growing and what we've changed since then. I want to talk to proven growers, people who've been doing it for a while, because then we could see the difference between where they are now and where they started off and what their mindset was, their practices. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome today's guest, Chad Westport. Chad, how you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing pretty awesome. Thank you for having me. This is a great question. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, so we've thought about it for a second. I'm sure since I asked you a few days ago, like, yeah, tell me, tell me all about your first time. What was it like? What were you doing?
Yeah. So my very first time was actually in my late teens. Um, I had no grow knowledge. I had never seen a growing plant, didn't know anybody who grew, but I had a seed. And we had one of those like displays from the 7-Eleven or whatever. You remember like the Evian bottles, like the big bottles, and it'd have the hole
Oh
in the middle
yeah,
and you reach in and it has the ice and you grab your
yeah,
bottle out.
yeah. One of those upward, yeah, those tubs, yeah.
Yeah. So way before like Star 69, caller ID, and video cameras everywhere, we used to like to take stuff a lot, borrow it, as we would call it. And one time we borrowed one of these from a back of a 7-Eleven. And so we just had it in our apartment, me and a couple dudes, and we should grow some weed in here, man. So we put some dirt in the bottom, put a seed in, and just hang a little light bulb. That was all we knew how to do. I'm surprised it germinated, but it did germinate. It came up. It got probably 2 or 3 nodes in, I don't know, maybe a month or something, and we didn't see anything
Right,
that looked like bud, so we're just
right,
like, "Whatever,"
yeah.
tossed it
And you
out.
already kind of knew that plants grow slow, right? So your expectations were like, oh, it's supposed to happen slow, right?
I didn't even know that much, man. That was the point where I, like, had killed a cactus. I had killed a cactus in between that point and then when I actually really started to grow for the first time.
uh, so that's funny. Was your first grow your first harvest?
Not that time, but
Yeah.
yes, you fast forward, some years, and yes, I took it a little bit more seriously. I had a little bit of previous knowledge, and yeah, my first one, I had collected bag seeds, as most people do. I decided I'm going to do it, planted some bag seeds, and I did. I got to harvest. I have what I would call beginner's luck. I did not face a problem until probably my fifth or sixth run. Like it was just too easy. And then you try to
Right.
get complicated and, well, your life gets complicated.
Right. So you say get complicated. Like, what do you mean? Like listening to others, all sorts of various advices, or get deeper into the science, or
Yep.
how do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, more just, as they say, trying to play God, more trying to control it. It's like the more I knew, the more I wanted to tinker. But what I didn't understand at that time was you need patience and you can't change a whole bunch of things in one run and expect to get any tangible results of whether that or something else helped. So yeah, I started just doing all the stuff that I heard online and I did too much.
Right. So if we rewind back to like when you had that tub from the 7-Eleven, what did you put in there? Did you get some garden dirt? What did you dig something up in the backyard? What went in there? You think?
Dude, that's a good question. Like, we probably dug the dirt up from somewhere, or somebody had a bag. Like, we did not even know anything about anything at that point. So, yeah, I
Sure.
wouldn't be surprised if we dug it out of the backyard.
I'm curious, like, because that's like, I think everyone has had their experimentation phases. A lot of people are coming into this now and it's very legitimate and very legal in a lot
Mhm.
of places. And so there's not sort of these like dark shadows of doubt or unknowing. We're not, you and I, we're no spring chickens anymore. So we harken back to a time when like, yeah, that was kind of experimentation. But you and
Yeah.
your friend, when you and your friends, when you came up with the idea, like, what did you think you were going to get? I'm curious. Like, what
Y- that's one of those weird things. It's like if you've been smoking like cannabis for a long time, but you've never actually seen a plant or seen how it grows,
uh-huh.
it's hard to know what to really expect. I remember walking into a big flower grow room for the first time, and I was like, "That's what it looks like. Oh, you gotta, trim all the and all that stuff." But yeah, we kind of expected it to grow buds, I guess.
Yeah.
We were young
Yeah.
and dumb.
Sure. Again, like, misguided, naive experimentation. Clearly, it's MacGyver. I remember
Yes.
doing a lot of MacGyver things surrounding cannabis and those sorts of things. Come up with a bong, come up with a pipe, come up with a this, that, or the other. What do I have?
Yeah. Well, speaking of MacGyver, and back to that very first grow, after we got rid of, and actually maybe this was why we got rid of it. So it had the middle section where you'd put the ice in the water and you'd stuff, the Evian bottles so customers could pull them out. We knocked that out and we
Mm.
turned that into a personal clam bake chamber. So you could actually get inside, you'd put the top back on and we'd put a pillow over the hole and you just sit in that bottle and you just smoke and smoke. So that's what we MacGyvered with my very first container.
It's good to see it had multiple uses.
There is video of that out there. It's
So
great.
if we could very quickly then, like, let's jump from the experimentation
Yeah,
phase back to like kind of where you started growing legitimately.
yeah.
What was your motivation when you planted, your next round of seeds, when you got into it? Was it seeds, clones?
It
How
was
did you find in?
bag
Yeah.
seeds. Yep,
All
bag
right. Yeah.
seeds and just stuff that I collected. And it was more of an economic thing, really, to
Right.
me at that point. Like I was by myself. I had a house. I had the extra closets that I could do this in, and I wanted to give it a shot. Like I wasn't really too worried about getting in trouble because I was staying discreet and doing it for myself. So
Mhm.
that was kind of why I wanted to do it. I was spending too much money on it, really.
How did you do discrete? What was your version of discrete?
Well, I didn't really understand carbon filters at that time. So just, discreet, like I've been to people's houses where you're like obvious they've got like boards up over the window so no light comes out. And yeah, I wasn't it just looked like a normal house. Didn't look like a grow house. Sometimes you can spot those.
You so you planted one, you started with one, you started with a couple. What was your tent like? What a tent, I say tents are a new thing, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, tents weren't even
Kind
a
of, yeah.
thing. This was
Yeah, yeah.
literal closet grow. That's why they're
Sure.
called
Yeah.
closet grows.
The struggle is real, man. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I planted um I think I had about 5 plants, and I'm trying to think back on it now because I didn't really understand. I don't think I grasped sex either at that point. And they
Okay,
were
right.
all bag
Yeah,
seeds, so maybe
yeah.
they were just all kind of, like from a herm because I want to say they were all female. So yeah, I
Wow,
had about five
lucky, very
plants.
lucky, right? Yeah. Yeah, like you said, maybe from a herm for that to be the case. I mean, 5 out of
Yeah.
5. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have any preconceived notion about what a marijuana plant should look like then when you got started with those 5 plants then? You didn't really harvest the teenage round, so without the experience to draw on, what did your plant look like? What did your plants look like?
They I didn't understand anything about training either, so they just kind of grew natural. They looked like a Christmas tree,
Christmas trees, right?
big long stalk. But satellite branches, but they didn't get overly heavy with buds and they weren't overly large because I was growing with CFLs. So they
Right.
really kind of supported themselves. The bud was wispy. There were three kinds. As brown, green, blue, and then later I popped more and called them red. I was just giving
Right.
colors to bag seeds. Um, but the blue turned out to have like massive, like just impressive colas. Again, I mean, beginner's luck. I thought I was just great at what I was doing, but beginner's luck.
Right. Well, you must have been using something around the right amount of light. You said it was a little thin and wispy, but there's a lot of things that contribute to that. But
Yeah.
tall is also maybe like a feature of not enough light. But if you finish and you have something to speak of, you must have used something close to, not the most wrong amount of light. Today you give advice, you teach people kind of your methods, you not just teach, but you sort of showcase what you're doing, and you talk through it along the way. And clearly you've given so much information to, like, modern breeders, people in the cultivation community all over the states, and I imagine all over the world. So let's just hop in our little time machine. We're going to go back right? You said what, maybe 2011 was the sort of the first foray into, and that's the direct line between then and now, right? You went for since then and you've been growing since. So what is you today? What is the advice that you give to that grower then? If you walked in the closet and you were like, hey, before you make this mistake, or yeah, is
Yeah.
that fair?
Grow tents exist,
All
one,
right.
because for
Okay.
many years I was building out false walls and building rooms.
Right.
Um,
Why is the tent thing important? Is that
yeah,
environmental control, or what is that to you?
just like portability,
Right.
cost. You can take it up, take it down if you need to, really easily.
Okay.
It has the reflective walls. It has your exhaust ports. It just makes it a lot easier than building something, which, well,
Right. Yeah.
depends
Ready
on
made.
permanent structure. But yeah,
Purpose built too,
there you
not
go.
custom, but purpose built. All right. So tents are a thing. You're gonna say, hey, get a tent.
Yep,
What
tents are a
else?
thing. Gosh, I mean, keeping it simple. I kind of kept it simple then, and I've gone through a lot, and I kind of keep it simple now. Um, Man, that's a great question because I
Well,
don't
how
know.
about this? Were there
I'm
were
sorry.
what would have been some obvious hurdles to you then, like information that wasn't there, that if you had Chad now, like what would
Right.
have been some of the problems that you were concerned with? You saw your first grow, then you went in your second, you were hoping for what? Improvement, right? You're gonna use the
Mhm.
information from last time, do a little better, and now you got it dialed in. But what was first run Chad worried about in his garden? What were you concerned about?
Well, I started off wanting to just see how the plants grew naturally. So I wasn't focused on feeding. I wasn't focused on much of anything other than just kind of like watering and watching it grow.
Was there
Um,
feeding?
very light, if any.
All right,
So
so you
yeah, a
went and
lot
got
of
some
it was
nutrients, or okay, all right,
Fox Farm soil, because that's what I saw. I didn't know the name, but I knew the color of the bag and I knew the picture of it. So when I actually went to a store, that's the one I picked up. um, yeah.
so besides the obvious in that you've gotten exponentially better since then, like what's the difference between Chad's grow then and Chad's grow now? What are you focused on? What do you worry about now?
Dialing in those little parameters. I mean, VPD is one of those. Actually, just knowing what humidity levels to have, what temperatures to have. And it's changed, with HPS back then, you want to run a different temperature than LED now in your room.
Oh
So
yeah, big
there
difference, right?
those
Yeah.
little details, and I'm able to, kind of like give it a direction more than just be happy with what I got. Before I was just happy with whatever I got. If I made it to harvest, which I did, cool, that is what it is. Now, there's certain things. Sometimes you want to try to bring out expressions of terpenes a
Yeah.
little bit more, or you're looking for trichome production. So I have a lot more options these days to control the grow a little bit tighter, I guess.
Right. And if you knew all that stuff on your first grow, do you think that would have even been useful? Like you kind of get, I know me, I got equipment along the way, you justify this and you're like, all right, well, I've spent 300 extra dollars on this grow. And then next one, you get some income. Oh, I justify that. And I just spent, another $900 on the next setup, or, oh, I'm going to change the system, or, oh, I'm going to rearrange the room, or, oh, now I got to finally get a tent. I picked up
Yep.
equipment along the way. Right.
Right.
Similar, would that have even been useful to you? Were you even interested in those things back
If I would have known about them, yes, I would have been interested in them, but I'm glad that I went the way that I did because I didn't have there wasn't the internet. You were still afraid to go onto any like cannabis website at that point. Like you're like they're going to get my IP,
then?
they'll know.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even do that. So it was kind of just talking to people. If you can find somebody now, I'd always smoked, and it's the Pacific Northwest, so there were some people that I get some information from, but not the OG. I never had that tutor or, that I was never the apprentice, which I
Gotcha.
wish I would have
Yeah.
had that opportunity.
Right. Right. Um, so then is it learning through trial and error and the experience then since then, or have there been significant influences in your education and the development of you as a grower?
There has been. There's, a lot of, I say I have beginner's luck, and I was just kind of doing what I was doing without really knowing the why behind it, why I may have had success in those circumstances, and why, after that fifth run, why I had problems. And that's the difference really between then and now. Back then, I was just kind of going for it. I kind of knew what worked. And there's some growers out there who, they always say, we just follow a formula. If all you're doing is following the formula, you don't necessarily know the mechanics behind it. So if something
Right.
in that like breaks down, you have no reference of like where to start, troubleshoot from point A to point B. Where is the problem? Is it in the middle
What went
here?
wrong? What
Yeah,
went wrong? That simple question, what went wrong? Not what
yeah.
I think was wrong, what actually went wrong.
The why.
How do you,
And
yeah.
like you may have a lockout of phosphorus. Okay, well, you've identified the
Mm,
deficiency. Congratulations, you treat it. Why? Why were you short on phosphorus? Because until you understand the why you were short
yes.
on it, you're going to keep hitting that wall. So the
Yeah.
why is very important, and that's
Or
the
yeah,
difference.
you might believe in some sort of mumbo jumbo, like it is always that at this time I am short on phosphorus. And unless you're magically consistent, that's probably not going to be the case of the when of it. It's like you said, the why. So we took you and we put you in the time machine. We took you back to talk to First Grow Chad. How about this? Let's talk to people in the present and the future about their first grow.
Yeah,
Um, what would you impart? Are you have any simple basics, some sort of easy mindsets, any assurance or sooth that you could say to the future first time grower?
yeah, and I mean it's a little cliche. We hear it a lot. KISS, keep it simple. But what does that actually mean? How do you keep it simple? So, for me, at first, and I still do this with when I grow a new seed out, the first time I grow a seed or a new plant, I don't train it. I want to see how the plant wants to grow naturally. I want to see what it wants to do. Now, with my experience from there, the next round, I can do whatever training is needed to maximize, to take advantage of those patterns. So, yeah, let your plant just kind of grow, study the plant, learn the plant. At the same time with feeding, either do follow a formula, keep it simple that way, or get like a water only soil so you can focus
Hmm,
on the plant. Again, get
right,
familiar
right.
with it. Look how, and especially if you start with like a fox farm, it has a little bit of a charge in it, but it's not going to take you all the way. So when those bottom leaves start to yellow, why? Oh, that means nitrogen is translocating to the top. It's a mobile nutrient. Those
Hmm,
are like
yeah.
two rabbit holes you could dive down right there. So I almost just say don't try to build the Ferrari the first time. Get familiar with the frame because then you'll be able to manipulate it and take advantage of it later.
Well, look, you've been a big help to me, and you help a lot of people. You recently taught me how to not kill most of my seedlings, and I've been growing for almost
Yes.
9 years, maybe 9 years now. Mostly a clone guy. I feel
Yeah.
like I might have. I have to repeat the success a couple times before I know that I'm in the clear. But so far, it's been 100% turnaround. I couldn't have done that
Nice.
without you. Where do we find you over there on the other end of the interwebs?
Yeah, well, thank you. So Instagram, it's chad.westport. I do have a website, chadwestport.com, but on YouTube, which is commonly where I am, I have the Chad Westport YouTube channel, and then also over on the Future Cannabis Project channel. And if you like
That's right.
cannabis history, check out Dope History, dopehistory.com.
Oh, fantastic show, dopehistory.com. And if you make your way over to the Future Cannabis Project, make sure you hit up both channels, hit the notification bells, hit
Thanks.
Chad's notification bell. Otherwise, you're not going to catch the live stuff. And I've seen that you've launched what is it you call it? The nearly the best grow show,
The
the
best grow
the
show.
pretty reasonable grow show, or the
It's a grow show.
well, I've seen 9 out of 10 dentists and 9 out of 10 zoo animals approved and thought it was the best grow show. So something needs to
So
be
far.
said about the credibility of those zoo doctors, zoo dentists.
Yes. So far so good. I have to go out and pull 10 more people before the next show. So we'll see who I talk to this time.
What's your favorite episode looking back of the dope history?
Ooh, Wolf Siegel, because we ran the exact same streets, just about 30 years removed,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hard to pick, but that one has the most personal connection.
Fantastic. Hey guys, you really do got to check this out. It's really been a big thing. He went all over and talked to all sorts of people, icons, titans in the industry, and kind of helping to tell the story through people's firsthand accounts of how cannabis has permeated culture and become what you guys know it today. You get to watch us today. Thank you very much, Chad, for coming by. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about Chad's first time. Next
Thank
time, I'll tell you about my first time. Episode 2. Check it out 2 weeks from now. Thanks, Chad.
See you later, guys.
Later. Well, hey, what do you think? What do you guys think? Was that fun? Yeah, I had a good time. It was good talking about first time, you know. And certainly, if, like I said, a couple of you guys, if you're interested at all, you need to hit me up. We would lay something like this down pre-recorded, show it in the middle of the show. I really enjoyed that segment. I really, really, really did. Let's see if I can get myself back here. Hey, that's me. Hey, what do you what do you guys think of the new logo? I like it. It looks like money. My good old friend, I mean, yeah, 22-year long friendship, Mike Hallberg from Human Thing. If you look up Human Thing on the Instagrams or in the internet, you'll find Human Thing. That's my buddy Mike. He's been doing graphic arts projects, commercial, uh, private, done a lot of t-shirt graphics, some amazing stuff. Guy even used to work for marketing for NASA back when he lived out there in Canaveral. In fact, I think he's back out there now in Brevard. So if you guys know Mikey, say hi. But if you guys need any graphic work done, you can talk to him. It was very reasonably priced, and I don't think that was just because I'm a friend. Uh, I got banners, which I haven't figured out how to put at the bottom, but got him made as overlays. I have a bunch more. Let's see. Here's one. Oh, how do I do that? That's not it. Yeah, so some of them I haven't figured out how to bring things in as backgrounds necessarily. So I'm missing the graphic design know-how, but I had a really good start. I sent him some materials. We had a brief conversation about what I was looking for. You know, that'd look really nice when it's below me. When we kind of just, I don't know if I could do that today. Maybe somebody could tell me how to shove that down to the bottom there. Also, I'm coming from a place where I don't have any licensing for like Adobe or any shit like that. I didn't even pay Canva. Canva? Yeah, I think it's Canva. I didn't pay them any money either for a subscription for that shit. So, yeah, but it's good to nice new logo right there. Check that out. I'm ra- I'm rather over the moon about it. So, yeah. So, looking through the comments. Hey, welcome, Yield Source. Good to see you, JP man. Thanks for joining us today. I see Tao. You guys all know Tao. He's been around for forever. Tao's everywhere. The American one. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming around today. Hope you're doing. I see Uncle Duck. Hey, good to have you here. I was wondering where you went. Good to see some colors out there in the chat as well. Uh, yeah, good to see the Redneck Mafia flag on a couple of these. Hey, thanks for coming by. Honestly, DJ is always good to see you guys. Check out DJ is every once in a while. He puts on a live, lays out some like really smooth, easy listening, kind of like just go about your day. It's been the background of many of my things. So if you guys like that sort of thing, want to put something on, don't know what to do, check out DJ is over there. Ism, good to see you, bud. And of course, we've got Flyby. Good to see you, Flyby. All right, everyone who's anything, everyone who's everywhere, and everyone who's anything are here today. So I appreciate 46 of you have chosen to join here. And to be perfectly frank, I don't have a whole lot more to talk about, but I did want to show you a picture, and this is pertinent to where we were last week. If you guys watched last week with Caleb, first time DWC grower Caleb, you know, I said, do you want a hydro? He said, hell yeah. So hail hydro. He hopped on and we saw his garden. We did a little bit of, we walked through some manicuring, that he was in his third week, but that was like day 17 or something, 7 days later. So we're looking at, day 24. That's great. He sent a picture over. I'd like to share it with you if you'd like to see it. So why is it, there we go. Share. All right. That was a photo he sent me like 2 days ago. So, things still sprung back. We still saw, and it's hard to see where the net is, but I could see it there. Things still grew taller, but we had done enough clean out that there was, stuff area between for light. I think we whittled things down to like 10 or 12 branches each plant. But things got bushy in there fast again. He's actually running out of like, he can't move his light much higher. He's in like a shorty tent, and he's never had this problem before of these, filling the whole tent with 2 plants, and then having them vigorously grow. I'm really proud of the work that he's done. He just got into another res change, so he's figuring out what we're doing here in mid flower with our nutrients and how we're changing those things up, adjusting our ppms, bringing out anything that's going to bring in like extra, micronutrients that we don't need, or especially nitrogen, and how we're sort of moving into wanting some pk, bringing those things up as a more significant portion of the ppm and raising the ppm. I think we're at like 1,000, somewhere hovering around like 900 to 1,000 right now. So yeah, he's following a formula. Things are working out great. I look forward to seeing buds on these branches. I think it's going to be a big thing because he has really good node stacking, and we still have, probably at least 5 weeks to go until we're cut down. So yeah, it's going to be a thing. I look forward to seeing that thing. So what it is today's short program. I have a lot of stuff scheduled for this week. And I think we might have just gotten another commitment for recording. I have to check in with someone over there in chat earlier, was saying they'd be interested in doing one of those interviews about my first time here at the Indoor Promised Land. You guys get to check it out. New logo, look for that in the future because you're going to be seeing it around. We're going to figure out how to fucking push this bar down, right? And I'm figuring it out on the go, guys. I mean, I used to be very technologically apt, but that was like 20 years ago, and I'm a carpenter, I know how to read a tape measure. I know how to use a level, a little bit of numbers, not a whole lot of computers. And design, it's computer design. I mean, I could just as easily sketch something out pretty quickly that's reasonable, and I could bring it to a permitting office and say that's what we're building, without an engineer's stamp, so yeah, computer graphics not my foray. If someone knows how to push those bars down lower, and maybe an easy app I could use, especially a free one, to do stuff like that with the overlays, just let me know. You could hit me up at indoorpromisedland@gmail.com. Oh, yeah, we did not do the Zoom call, but if you guys are still interested, I know there's some people out there. I fucking dropped the ball because I was supposed to schedule a Zoom call with the rest of you hydro, hydro wannabes, people who want to, try out the hydro. The easiest thing is to get you guys all in the same meeting, or at least most of you, because I think there's like 5 or 6 of you now. I apologize. I dropped the ball on that. If you're still interested, if you have my email already, hit that up again. I'm going to scroll back through my emails because I think I have 4 of you guys figured out. I think there's 2 more. I will schedule that Zoom call with you guys. Just look out for that in your email. And I apologize. Let's try to do that in the next couple days. Monday's busy, Tuesday's busy. I don't know about tomorrow, so probably Wednesday. And I hope that gives maybe people enough time to plan for that, or enough in the week that they'll have seen it come next week, and we'll all be on the same page. All right. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Sorry it's a short one. Sorry I don't have much to show you, but I'm really proud of that new segment, and I look forward to talking to a bunch of you about your first time. All right. We'll spill all the beans. We'll tell all the dirty secrets. Dirt. Dirt. My first time was dirt. So yeah, dirty secrets. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'll be checking you guys out in the comments. Beep boop.